Benny Andersson, the man who shaped the unforgettable sound of ABBA, has long been an enigma to fans. Though the world was dazzled by the shimmering costumes and catchy melodies of ABBA, it was Benny's quiet genius that built the foundation of their music. Born on December 16, 1946, in Stockholm, Benny grew up in a working-class family with a deep love for music. His father, a civil engineer, and his grandfather, a self-taught musician, introduced him to the accordion at an early age. This simple instrument sparked a lifelong fascination with melody and harmony. Unlike other artists who sought fame, Benny's focus was always on understanding the music, the structure, and the soul of a song. His self-taught piano skills and natural ear for melodies made him the perfect musical architect, though the spotlight often shined elsewhere. Early musical ventures, from the Heap Stars to ABBA. Benny's early musical career began in 1964 with the Swedish band Heap Stars, a group that quickly became known as the Swedish Beatles. Benny's arrival marked a turning point in the band's sound. His songwriting abilities, including hits like Sunny Girl and Wedding, began to dominate the group's chart-topping success. This period of creative growth saw Benny develop his skills not only as a songwriter, but also as a composer and arranger, laying the groundwork for what would become ABBA's iconic sound. As the Heap Stars began to dissolve, Benny met Bern, a fellow musician and lyricist, who would become his creative partner for the next decade. Together, their collaboration would result in the formation of ABBA, though it was Benny's skill behind the scenes that would truly define the band's sound. The struggle behind the success, personal lives. Collapsing. As ABBA's success skyrocketed, the personal lives of its members began to unravel. The first cracks in the band's foundation appeared in 1979 when Bern and Agnetha divorced. Despite their personal turmoil, the group continued to work on their album Super Trooper, though the sessions carried a new, somber tone. By 1981, Benny and Annie Fried's marriage also began to fall apart. Their once passionate musical partnership was strained by Benny's obsessive perfectionism in the studio, leaving little room for emotional intimacy at home. Benny's admission of falling in love with someone else only deepened the rift, and by 1982, their relationship ended quietly, yet painfully. This emotional collapse was mirrored in ABBA's final studio album, The Visitors, where songs like When All Is Said and Done and Slipping Through My Fingers reflected a growing sense of loss and melancholy. The silence after the music, ABBA's quiet disappearance. ABBA's sudden disappearance from the music scene left fans stunned. Unlike many legendary bands, ABBA did not announce their breakup with a public statement or a farewell tour. Their last single, Under Attack, released in December 1982, failed to make the same impact as their earlier hits. The band faded from public view, leaving fans wondering why they stopped at the height of their success. For years, speculation ran wild. Was it creative differences, personal dramas, or simply the exhaustion of fame? In interviews, ABBA's members remained vague, and the word hiatus floated around. Fans were left to fill the silence with their own theories, and ABBA became a myth, an iconic group that had simply disappeared without explanation. Revelations of exhaustion, the final years of ABBA. In a follow-up interview with Billboard in April 2025, Benny elaborated further on the final 2 years of ABBA's existence. He described the band's work as uninspired, with the magic that once fueled their creativity slowly fading. The studio sessions became shorter, the songs came more slowly, and the passion that had once driven them all to success was replaced by a sense of obligation. The band had become a machine, and it wasn't sustainable anymore. Benny acknowledged that their decision to stop was not a failure, but a necessary end. "We couldn't go on pretending," he confessed. This newfound openness provided clarity and closure for ABBA's longtime fans, who had always sensed the subtle, melancholy shift in the band's final albums. Songs like One of Us and Like an Angel Passing Through My Room carried an emotional weight that was palpable, and Benny's confession confirmed that the sadness embedded in those songs was real. Frida's grief and the quiet reconnection. After ABBA's disbandment, Annie Fried, or Freda, took a completely unexpected turn in her personal life. In 1992, she married Prince Heinrich Russo-Reuss of Plauen, entering the world of European royalty. The transition was jarring for many, as the once dazzling pop star now lived in a Swiss castle. However, her life as a princess was not as glamorous as it seemed. Frida struggled with the constraints of aristocratic life, and her world was further shattered by the tragic death of her daughter, Annalisa, in a car accident in 1998. Devastated by the loss, Frida retreated into isolation. During this period, it was Benny who reached out to her. Their shared history provided a comfort that no one else could offer. The two former bandmates who had seen it all fall apart found solace in their quiet reconnection, a bond rooted in understanding and shared pain. The ABBA reunion, a digital revolution. In 2018, after decades of silence, ABBA stunned the world by announcing they had reunited to record 2 new songs. The announcement shocked fans and marked the beginning of an ambitious new project, ABBA Voyage. This was no ordinary reunion. Instead of a traditional concert, Benny and the group used groundbreaking technology to create digital avatars of themselves, performing live with a 10-piece band in a custom-built arena in London. The result was nothing short of extraordinary. The digital avatars performed with a precision and authenticity that exceeded expectations, and ABBA Voyage quickly became a global phenomenon, selling over 1.3 million tickets by 2022. Benny, always the perfectionist, oversaw every detail of the performance, ensuring it was emotionally true to the band's original spirit. A legacy of truth, Benny's reflections on ABBA's music. Now, at 78, Benny Andersson has shed the emotional restraint that once kept him in the shadows. In interviews, he has openly discussed the role of music in his life, admitting that it was his way of expressing the emotions he couldn't put into words. He once said, "I gave my best lines to songs, not to the people who needed to hear them from me." This simple statement redefines how we view Benny's music. His songs were never just catchy tunes, they were his emotional outlet. And now, after all these years, Benny has finally allowed the world to see the man behind the music. His truth isn't about drama or scandal. It's about the quiet fragility of a man who used music to survive his own pain. Through his honesty, Benny offers a form of closure, proving that ABBA's music was never just about pop. It was about life, love, and survival.